United 2, Leeds 2.
Yeah.
Using hospitality, loving it, you know what I'm saying? Not the result we wanted, but you was on the old Chivas, you know?
Yeah.
But let's talk about the game,
Yeah.
even though I started off not talking about it. Couldn't get the win, man. Couldn't get the win, but the fight was there.
Yeah, the fight was there. It feels like a loss to me, you know. I'm expecting wins when I come to Old Trafford now, and that's just the testament to Ten Hag and what he's been doing with the team. But epic erratic emotions today, you know, just emotions everywhere in that first half. All of a sudden, you know, the Leeds fans screaming, making noise after 5 minutes. They have scored, you know, the forward gets into good spaces really quickly, scores a good goal. Can't really do much about that finish. And then for the rest of the first half, we'll kind of control the balance of the game. It's all Man United, you know, Garnacho with a key opportunity on goal. Sabitzer with a worldie, wrapped with a left foot, great save from the keeper. And then there was a few other key moments in there. But to no avail, man. It's really upsetting that we wasn't able to just be clinical enough at times and utilise the opportunities that we did have. The team was set up well. You know, we had a few kind of tentative moments, and again, it was about balancing those emotions and making the right decisions for the first half. But just couldn't push through on the first half.
In terms of the second half, we come out, we conceded straight away again, almost like shell-shocked again, like the first half.
Yeah.
How disappointing was that, and then how upset would Erik Ten Hag be with that, considering he probably would have spent the whole team talk at half-time saying, keep pushing, it's going to come, basically, and then we concede again.
Yeah, well, we've come back from losing positions before this season against Man City at home, away against Everton. So we've done it. We're capable of doing it. But like you just mentioned there, when you do it twice in a row, Flex, I mean, you know, in the first half so early, in the second half even earlier, it's just damning. And you can see the misplaced passing kicking in from the likes of Fred in the second half. You can see, you know, Sabitzer wasn't as crisp but in the first half. Varane at times, you know, just a lot of the players were just a bit shaky with the possession of the football. Bruno sometimes just overexerting it, even though he again the source of all creativity in the first.
A lot of chances,
gave us so many opportunities. That's what he's brilliant at. But it's just, I don't know. It was one of those games where at times I remember we were saying it, and you were saying it in particular. Look, it just doesn't feel like it could be our moment today for the 3 points. And
so having said that, okay, it wasn't for the 3 points, but so from that emotion that you've encapsulated there, or it just doesn't feel like it's going to be our day.
Yeah.
You know, over, you know, attempting passes, etc., etc. How did the game change?
All of a sudden, Ten Hag, you know, he does the right things, and he changes that massive problem that we were seeing in the first half. Garnacho, you know, forced to play on the left side, but then wasting Rashford on the right. We didn't see him for the whole game in the first half, really, or enough. You know, it wasn't Rashford that we're used to seeing, and you know, once Ten Hag changes it in that second half, you know, coming back to that, it just looks so much different. It looks so much better. Rashford on that left hand side, I think you cannot move him from there. Just keep him there. Obviously, another important thing, Weghorst coming out.
That's when the real change, Weghorst came out and Rashford went up front.
Yeah.
Since Jadon come onto the left.
Yeah, it was a bit weird because all of a sudden we started crossing more. You know, we've got a 6'3" forward in the whole first half, Lex, and then it's in the second half where we're starting to put more crosses in. That goal reminds me of pre-season, you know, Sancho into Rashford in the pre-season. There was a little clip of Ten Hag drilling that into the forward line, and you know, another good little cross from, I think it was Bruno, and then
Dallo, I think, got the assist. I think Dallo crossed it,
Yeah, one of them, but a fantastic cross, like you're saying, and then a good header from Rashford. In those central areas, I was complaining in moments where he wasn't occupying those areas, but when he does, really, really good header, starts the belief system, you know, starts kicking in the belief system for us, and then I think Sancho comes on. I don't know if they come on at the same time. Maybe they do.
And then Sancho came on with Pellistri.
With Pellistri, yeah. So then, you know, just changes the game completely. Was hoping Pellistri would get more involved. I know I've seen him do good crosses with into Weghorst against Nottingham Forest, but didn't really get involved as much. But that Sancho sub really changed things. That Rashford in the central areas really changed things.
Do you think Sancho looks revitalised? Do you think Sancho looks like he's back? Sancho ready to perform now?
Yeah. And I think we need to throw him in the deep end a little bit there, because you know, you can see that maybe he's not 90-minute fit, but needed. You know, very much so needed. Like you're saying, Garnacho looked like a youth player today in moments. You know, just running into blind alleys, maybe not confident and growing into the game as much as he should, or winning games, taking charge of games. But that midfield, you could just see without Casemiro, we don't have an enigmatic number 6 to hold the defensive line, and then we can't go forward and risk things enough, because in key moments, Fred had all the key moments in the second half.
And it's just, and when he's not playing well as well, he just wasn't the player we wanted it to fall to a lot of the times. Today.
Yeah, you know, he's always holding his hand up, but we don't want to see that. We want to see you score goals. We want to see you affect games in the right way. And in key moments, losing the ball, playing. He done the thing that he done against Brighton, where he kind of just tries to play the blind across the alley pass, and it goes into players, and we lose it in the midfield. Tyler Adams picking it up and going and on the counter charge. And that was from all the players today. I think even Varane done it, trying to scoop the ball over players in the first half when he shouldn't be doing that. It was a lot of it wasn't confident enough, and we was definitely had to balance the emotions today. And
the goals, and that's what you say about when people say goals change games, because we were shell shocked. That we were shell shocked, weren't we? At points.
Yeah, 100%.
Where it was like, wow, we've started the game. Oh my god, we're 1-0 down. Right, we'll come out second half. We'll put it right. Bang, 2-0. And it's like those types of goals, they're very difficult to manage emotionally. To still to trust in the manager's tactics and still go from there. But technically, they still found a way to actually do that. Because apart from that, Leeds didn't really do anything. Yeah. And then, don't get me wrong, they hit the post from a free kick. But like, you know, it was us trying to push. It was us trying to win the game.
Yeah, facts. They only had that little header moment, I think, in the first or second half. I can't remember. But you're right. It shows character. If that's the positive that you take from that. 2-0 down against Leeds. They're loud as ever in the away section. To come back, it shows character. It shows fight. But that shouldn't be the bracket. I think it's a testament to Ten Hag, because we expect to win that game. And going into Ellen Road now, I've heard other people speak saying, you know, it could be a key to a positive atmosphere. We need to go in there and be positive about it. You were mentioning it as well. You know, I was speaking to you a lot of the time saying, look, what do you think Ten Hag's thinking now? And you're saying, well, listen, this is not good enough. You know, this is not good enough. We need to get the gears out of players. We need to increase the tempo. The tempo wasn't there today in the passes. It was very laboured. And, you know, I think this hopefully gives them the rocket for the away fixture.
Do you think we go and bounce back there?
I want to say yes, man. But
place rocking. Still got to play Fred and Sabitzer again.
Again, and they were extremely loud today. If they can up the levels again and make it uncomfortable for us,
which they will.
You know, it hasn't been emphatic for us away from home. That's where it's been a little bit more challenging. You know, Wolves, Everton. You know, it's been difficult away from home.
Aston Villa. New manager bounce there.
So, you know, let's see what happens. If they come at us again like they did today, they tried to ruffle our feathers, and it worked.
Aggressive, yeah.
It worked, you know. Early doors ruffled the feathers, and then when we come out, early doors ruffle the feathers. So if they can do that again, then it's difficult. But we have control of games, and we have to just be sharper with our passing. And Ten Hag's not going to be happy with that performance.
Rashford, a great goal for him and Sancho. So that is the positives. Do you have a man of the match, even though we drew? But who stood out for you? Anyone?
Martinez played the girl, solid heart, so much heart in big moments. Massive.
Expect it, don't we know?
And we're taking it for granted from that man. Heart 50-50s, he's making it look like 70-30s for his favour. And he's half the size of most of these players. Big aggressive tackles, injuring players, leaving a little bit on them to let them know. But it's just to no avail up front in the forward line. Sancho, so happy flex that he scored. And then Rashi as well, we're happy for him. But I'm going to give it to Martinez, bro.
Bro, nice one.